Welcome back to yet another English learning video from Education Point. I am Puja Sharma, your English trainer. As we are continuing the English grammar series, this video talks about Subject-Verb Agreement. This is one among the parts of speech in English grammar and a very important topic to understand. So if you are interested in learning this part of English grammar, stay tuned till the very end. Understanding what is Subject-Verb Agreement. Subject-verb agreement refers to the relationship between the subject and verb of the sentence. So as the name goes, it becomes quite clear and quite familiar that what is subject-verb agreement. So there happens to be an agreement between the subject of the sentence and the verb of a sentence. So in English grammar, there are a lot of rules that needs to be followed. And when it comes to an agreement between a subject and verb, this is very crucial when it comes to sentence construction. So subjects and verbs must always agree in two ways, say tense and number. So in a sentence, the verb must agree in number with the subject. So say if the subject is singular, the verb must also be singular. If the subject is plural, again the verb must be plural. So here we have a very simple sentence, a singular sentence and a plural sentence. Here we shall understand what is the subject and the verb and how it is related with each other and how it is changing as and when the situation is changing. So when we talk about the singular sentence, she is Indian. So when we are talking about one girl, she, where the subject is she and it is singular, the verb also needs to be singular, which is. Similarly, if the sentence is plural or the subject in the sentence is plural, say, they are Indian. So here the verb also agrees and becomes are instead of is. So you can't say they is Indian. You have to change the verb to match with the subject, which is plural. So they are Indian. So in this example, it is quite clear that the subject she is singular and the subject they is plural, and that is why the verb agrees in each case. But as we say that English is a very funny language, so there are a lot of exceptions when it comes to English grammar and you have to understand and maybe at times memorize it. So in some sentences it is not always such an easy peasy rule. Let's see one more example. The light in the lamppost flickers each night. So here in this sentence, the subject is light, which is singular. Therefore, the verb that describes the action of the subject must also be singular, that is, flickers. But now if the subject was plural, the verb should have been changed to form to agree with the subject, right? Example, if instead of light, we will use lights. The lights in the lamppost flicker each night. So instead of adding the S to the flickers, here to match it with the sentence or to agree with the subject, the verb changes itself to flicker from flickers. So in this sentence, since the subject is now plural, the S has to be removed from the verb in order to have a subject-verb agreement. So here, this is a kind of an exception case, and there are a lot of exception case when it comes to the subject-verb agreement. So given that there is a hard and fast rule when the subject is singular, the verb also has to be singular and vice versa. But there are some exceptions, and that is what we have discussed in this example. Now let's go on and understand some more rules of the subject-verb agreement. Two singular subjects connected by an or, either, neither, nor, they require a singular verb. You don't have to add a plural verb when these singular subjects are connected or they are co-joined with these prepositions like either, or, neither, nor, etc. Example, my aunt or my uncle is arriving by train today. Is arriving by train today. So either it's my aunt or it is my uncle. So here we are talking about one person arriving by train today, and that is why we have just used an is. and also because of this rule that here we have an or in the sentence which talks about ye ya to wo, and that is why we have used just a singular verb. The second rule is that use a plural verb with two or more subjects when they are connected by and. So here we have to use a plural verb with two or more subjects if they are connected with an and. But if the subjects are connected by an and, then we have to use plural verb. Example, a car and a bike are my means of transportation. So a car and a bike, which means that there we are talking about both the vehicles, and that is when we are using the plural verb, that is are. Next rule is that in sentences beginning with here or there, the true subject follows the verb. Okay, the subject follows the verb if your sentence is starting with here or there. Example, there are 4 hurdles to jump, or there is a high hurdle to jump. So here the verb are and is are followed by the subject, that is hurdle, right? The next rule is that one needs to use a singular verb with distances, periods of time, sums of money, etc. when they are considered as a unit. So when we are talking about a unit or a group or something which is together, be it distances, period of times and sum of money, we need to use a singular verb and not treat it as different separate units. Example, 3 miles is too far to walk. So here we are talking about 3 miles, not 1, but still we are using the singular verb, that is. 5 years is the maximum sentence for that offense. 5 years is more than 1, which means it's plural, but still we are using the singular verb as the rule says. The fifth rule is with collective nouns such as a group or a jury or a family, audience, population, etc. With such nouns or with such subjects, the verb might be singular or plural. It depends totally on the writer's way of writing or what the writer wants to convey. So it clearly depends on the sentence, on the mood of the sentence, and on the intent of the writer, what he or she wants to depict, and that is how you will be selecting whether the verb is to be singular or plural. So let's see an example. All of my family has arrived or have arrived, right? So here we are talking about all of my family. My family is not just one person, but there are a lot of people in it, and all of them has arrived or have arrived. Second, most of the jury is here or most of the jury are here. So here you can use both the verbs, both be it singular or plural. You can use both of them depending on what you are thinking and what is your intent in the writing scenario. So these were the 5 rules when it comes to subject-verb agreement. There are some more rules under this agreement, but what we have discussed are the most important ones which one should take care while framing a subject-verb agreement in a sentence. So that was it for this video. I hope you got an idea about what subject-verb agreement is and how one should use it in their sentences or in their English conversations. Thank you so much for watching, and if you could take home some learnings from this video, do consider to like, share and subscribe to it